What is Human Development Index, and why is it important? Or perhaps, why is it not important? What does it measure, and what does it actually mean for a country? Human Development Index is mainly measured by three things: life expectancy at birth, expected years of schooling, and GNI per capita, which is gross national income converted to international dollars so that everybody's on the same playing field. Here's a screenshot of the latest HDI rankings. As you can see, Norway sits first, and coming in 10th is Netherlands. Norway sits first partially because of its GNI being so high in comparison to other countries. Here's a screenshot of the most recent Environmental Performance Index scores. As you remember, Norway was number 1 in overall HDI, but on here, they're not even in the top 10. Something about that does not add up. In an article from Economics in the World, Trang Vu talks about how he visited Hong Kong a year ago, and he saw the wealth gap with his own two eyes, yet they are still ranked 7th on overall HDI. Obviously, this is some sort of problem that HDI is not taking into account wealth gap, or the environment for that count. In an article written by Malai Sever, Sever argues that the educational index in HDI is practically useless. He basically says that if a country like Turkey wants to increase their HDI, they can simply increase their programs for education, but if it actually doesn't pay off, their HDI will still go up because it's expected years of schooling, which means that it's not actually telling you how many years of schooling, but instead what it's telling you is, based on the programs that they've implemented in recent years, this is how many years of schooling we expect there to be soon. On page 151 of NACE's Ecology, Community, and Lifestyle, he states, industrial countries can control outflow of garbage and pollutants in a way that is economically impossible for developing countries to follow. With this statement, NACE is indirectly going against HDI because HDI does not directly incorporate the amount of garbage and pollutants that a country produces into its overall HDI ranking. A lot of smaller countries in the world are much more worried about global warming than a lot of other bigger countries. Developing countries don't have the resources to be able to dispose of their garbage and pollutants the way these bigger countries do, and because of that, it hurts their HDI ranking. On page 150, NACE explores the idea that it is not fair to punish these smaller countries and developing countries for not having the resources or the technologies that are necessary to dispose of the garbage and pollutants that countries are producing. Even if NACE did not come directly at HDI as a whole, his argument supports the idea that Human Development Index fails to capture the overall success and well-being of a country.